part of the thing I think that makes it so Sophie and other kids can relate to monsters and other fantastical creatures is because they can see part of themselves in those. Um, for instance, monsters are often hiding, and Sophie spends much of her time trying to hide from the world, and they're often alone, and she feels very, very alone. And they can be scary, and she feels like she is scary to other people. She's afraid a lot herself, also. So she's afraid people will find out about her. She's afraid people will fear her because that's the experience she has with bullies. And sometimes monsters are kind of out of control, and she feels that same loss of control. Sometimes things happen and she can't control everything, and sometimes kids just can't control their world, just like monsters. Sophie's imagination is a wonderful thing, but it's also part of what helps her hide, and it isolates her a little bit further at first because she has this whole world she lives in and she hasn't let anyone else in. But her fascination with monsters is also the gateway that lets her go and let other people in, because when she shares it with her friends and then they get excited and say, oh, Sophie knows what you are, she knows what kind of a monster you are, and she can share that, then that's the first crack in her shield, and it's the first thing that lets her let someone into her world a little bit, and suddenly she's not so alone. For instance, Sophie's decided that her best friend, Autumn, who's bubbly and wonderful and light, she's obviously a fairy, and so the other kids want to know what kind of fantastical creature they are too. And so one might be a dryad, and another one might be a sprite, or might be some other kind of thing like that. So they're all excited to know what are we, what kind of cool creature could